Welcome to another episode on artificial intelligence. In the previous episode, we have discussed AI and its potential impact on various sectors, including democratizing education. Another topic that's making massive news is artificial general intelligence. Today, we have our expert, Dr. Karthik Sindhya, who is going to tell us about artificial general intelligence. Dr. Karthik, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Donapa, for inviting me to another edition of your video podcast. Of course, artificial intelligence, specifically Chat GPT and other topics, have captured massive interest among researchers, technologists, and students across every spectrum. And naturally, people are already started to talk about artificial general intelligence as a subject. And as a topic, but I think it's still quite early days to this topic, but it's nice to talk about this topic of holy grail
Yeah,
in AI.
yeah. Absolutely. Let's start with some basics. As I said, that artificial generalist intelligence is making some news in the past few months or weeks. As an expert for general audience, please tell us what is artificial general intelligence and how it differs from other forms of AI.
Mm. Yeah, that's a uh, interesting topic. Before we dwell into artificial general intelligence, I think commonly it's also referred as strong AI, and once we have a strong AI, there is also something called weak AI. But let's say the if you understand the opposite, or the something about narrow AI, which is also weak AI, which is the AI which you commonly see now, then we can better understand what is general intelligence. So, for example, a narrow AI or weak AI, it refers to the AI systems that are designed and trained for a specific task. So there's a task. So there is a AI which is very good in playing chess, and so there are. It's meant for a particular task, and then that means that can we generalize, and we have an artificial general intelligence, and which is also known as a strong AI. And on the other hand, this as compared to narrow AI, there's strong AI. It refers to the type of AI that has the cognitive capabilities of a human being. So, what does it mean to have a cognitive capabilities of a human being? Is good to understand. It means that the system should be able to understand, it has to learn, it has to adapt, and also implement knowledge in a broad range of tasks. So, if you want to think of narrow AI or weak AI, you can think of it as a kitchen gadget or appliance. Let's consider a garlic press. So everybody knows what's a garlic press. So you take garlic cloves and then you just press it, and then you get this mashed garlic for your cooking. And it's but if you take garlic press as a tool, it's extremely good at one specific task. It even surpasses human effort in pressing the garlic. And so that's what it actually meant for. It does it better and faster than any human can do. But if you ask it to chop onion or beat an egg, and so it's a completely different ball game. So and it won't be able to help you as best as it could in that kind of a scenario. So that means that it can't apply the knowledge of pressing garlic to another task in the kitchen, and and it can't learn how to do anything else either. So basically, and it's only good at doing one thing. So that's how you can see that as a narrow AI. On the other hand, if you have had a system called AGI, or the artificial general intelligence, we can assume that as a competent chef, basically. A chef can perform, in addition to garlic pressing, he can do vast number of tasks. For example, chopping, whisking, sautéing, baking, and anything. And they can learn new recipes. They can adapt existing ones and even create more unique dishes. So, suppose if you are pressing a garlic, and it doesn't take much effort for a competent chef to know how to chop an onion, even though you have not given him explicit guidance of how to chop an onion. And they understand, and this is happening because the competent chef would understand the principles of cooking and can underline inherent behaviors or inherent basic operations in each of this and can extend them to the new ones, or you can say that you can apply them across a wide range of tasks and challenges within the kitchen. And that's what makes him general into having a person with general intelligence. So let's to summarize, just as a chef is more flexible and adaptable than a garlic press, um, AGI would be more kind of a flexible and adaptable than the narrow AI. It's not about performing, let's say, a single task extreme level, but about understanding, learning, and applying knowledge over a wide range of topics. So that's what artificial general intelligence is about.
That's fascinating, isn't it? Because what we do today is that we have a lot of maybe AI-based tools and equipment that can do one single task. So the idea is to acquire human-like cognitive skills and do multiple tasks. So how close are we to really achieve this, and what are the current limitations to achieve AGI?
Mm. Uh, as I said before, so as of now, okay, we are not we are not that close to achieving AGI, but considering the scenarios these days, we can never be too far from achieving anything. There are rapid strides being made, but still, I believe that we are still quite far from being in having an AGI like system. While AI has made significant strides, the platform of AGI is considerably more challenging.
Yeah.
And our current AI systems, they actually require huge amount of data to learn, and even then, they can perform some specific tasks only. And additionally, current AI models do not have, let's say, human-like common sense and understanding of the environment of the world around them as we humans do. So in that way, I would say that we are still a little far. And of course, as I said, the limitations, since you asked, are basically that they are not aware of the surroundings and the things we have, and of course, they need data also. So uh, I think we are not. I would say that we are not very close yet.
So if AGI or artificial general intelligence can be achieved, how do you see that it will affect the future job market?
Mm.
Or are there any specific job sector that will be vulnerable to AGI?
I would say that artificial general intelligence has the potential to revolutionize the job market. So it's capable of not only just automating some mundane tasks, let's say, but also perform complex problem solving tasks that require actual human intelligence. Uh, so if such technology advancements are made, of course there would be some job displacement in certain sectors, but the life is all about balancing. So when some you lose something
Yes.
somewhere, you create something new somewhere else. So it would create new opportunities, but what are those opportunities? It's still early days, but I think it's I would let's say, in order to give you some sort of a our audience some sort of glimpse of what it could be, I thought that one easy topic would be space exploration. And it's what humans want to do. We want to explore space because there are a lot of hidden things, and as we really want, we are in quest of knowledge and to know or understand unknown things. And so for me, space exploration is one of the ultimate topics. But I think in order to enable space exploration of the future, we should be the presence of artificial general intelligence would really help us in reaching that place. So uh, I tried to think just before our talk here, what could these topics been in space exploration. So for and I have I could kind of come up with almost like 6 points, maybe. Let's say, if we want to go in each of them. So let's say the autonomous operation. So if you take space missions, they are particularly those beyond the Earth's orbit. They Every space mission has significant communication delays. So when we are going far depth of space, and AGI could allow our spacecraft to make real time decisions without needing to wait from our instructions from the Earth, because there is always a lag when it has to respond, and when these critical decisions have to be made, there is somebody who has to take charge and make those decisions there. Of course, during autonomous operations. And this could all basically, what I mean here is that this could involve navigating unexpected obstacles, because you cannot account for all the obstacles, and then also optimizing scientific investigations or even making critical decisions during emergencies. So these are the places where AGH would actually have a very nice role to play. And the second thing about why do we do space exploration? Because we want to advance our scientific knowledge. And so that means that we would have to do some critical scientific analysis on the go. And AGI could analyze not only scientific data coming from onboard instruments, at the same time, it can identify interesting phenomena or patterns that warrant further investigation. And as an example, if you take the Mars rover mission, AGI could basically analyze the geological data to determine most likely locations of the past water activity. And basically, they're doing that autonomously and trying to understand different patterns or different things which has not been seen, and then tries to guess these things. And also, most important thing where AGI would also have a very important role is in maintenance and repairs, basically. So spacecrafts are complex machines and they operate in very harsh conditions. Of course, there are very limited things which you can test here, but then when it's on the field, it's the environment is different. Some of them are expected, some of them you may not even expect, and so that makes maintenance a constant concern during space exploration. And if artificial general intelligence could monitor the health of various spacecraft systems, and predict potential failures that could occur, and most important, you can even carry out repair missions it's on its own using its own robotic arms and other tools. So that's probably one of the places where. And then the most important is the long duration missions. For missions aiming to explore distant worlds, let's say establish permanent bases in Mars and other ways, there artificial general intelligence would be a very critical role, because it would manage not only day-to-day operations of maintaining life support systems and coordinating our robotic workers there. And in an advanced form, artificial general intelligence could also potentially oversee long duration missions during those periods when
Mhm.
human crews are in hibernation or not even present, like you watch in some sci-fi movies. And of course, let's say astrobiological research is something it could do, uh, trying to recognize potential biosignatures in with using its instruments. And that means that it also has to draw on its expertise from not just from biology, but knowledge spanning biology, geology, atmospheric science, and many more things. And this would be quite important. And then of course, the finally, I would say that communications with Earth. So AJ could distill complex missions, send reports, summarize key findings, and this could streamline communication with the humans, putting the humans in the loop, even as the spacecraft is being run autonomous. So as futuristic as is artificial general intelligence, so I tried to cover what could this mean to us in the future by giving an example of space exploration. I hope with this you can understand the let's say futuristic value of this general intelligence. And of course, this is not something um, limited to space exploration. It could very well be applied quite a lot of tasks on Earth, yeah, including automation in mines, For example, there are very autonomous machines in mines. So, and also one important place where it could play a significant role is innovation in design, because general intelligence could contribute to design of more efficient, durable machinery by simulating and learning from a very broad range of conditions. It could help engineering solutions or human, which our engineers or human designers would not even consider. So yeah, so the possibilities are infinite, let's say, and the technology is futuristic, and I'm really hopeful that we would see those days quite soon, hopefully in the coming
Yeah.
decade.
Yeah, that's amazing that how it can do some of the extreme conditions where it can be implemented and used, and it give us more reliable and data. So this leads us to our next question or topic. You have said that there is a lot of futuristic opportunities. It also means that for the futuristic, we need some people who are skilled. So there are two topics. The first one is that how those future job seekers can prepare themselves for the changes that AI may bring or the opportunity that AI may bring. And the second topic that I also, because these two are combined, what kind of skills or knowledge areas that the individual should focus on developing if
Mm,
that such opportunities are coming very fast.
mm. Yeah, I think it's a very, very important question, but I would say that if there are some things which would never go away, according to me. One would be the presence of artists and designers, because it requires quite deep understanding of human emotion, aesthetics, culture, and the ability to create novel and resonant works. So I would still believe that artists and designers have still a very critical role, which would not be taken by anything. Therapists and counselors is one such role, teachers and educators. Although we have discussed previously that how revolutionary this thing is, can we have a virtual university? Yes, we could have, but I would say that AI might serve as a tutor or assist in instructional tasks, and the role of a human teacher, which would involve complex interpersonal skills and adaptability, is still something only the humans can bring in. And of course, as a research scientist yourself and and me, we have done research thing. We could see AGI also a critical role in our, as a both as a laboratory aid and also as a fellow research scientist, because it would help you in formulating different hypotheses and also do some critical and innovative thinking, help you in doing those. So that's something I would say. Writers, journalists, business leaders, entrepreneurs, these are these are quite many things which would not be displaced. But now coming up to the question of how can workers prepare themselves for this. Of course, there is, as I have told you in the previous podcast, also there is only two things which can help humans survive, and I would say that it's to focus on lifelong learning and adapt and be adaptable. So if you are open for lifelong learning and you're adaptable, that then all stormy seas can be navigated upon. And I would say that this is quite important, and skills like critical thinking, emotional intelligence, creativity, complex problem solving, they are all uniquely human and are likely to be in high demand even in the AGI world as well. But then, and then you also asked about, are there any specific skills or knowledge ideas? I would say that you should have a broad range of skills, but I think the most important thing is to understand the basics of AI and be data literate, and that would be give you really valuable, uh, that would be valuable in the days ahead. So that's what I would say to summarize.
Great. So that means irrespective of your background skills, it's good to know some at some point the basics of AI, because that is going to be your a part of your daily activities, or it's
Yes.
already, but in future it's going to be more and more. We see in research, I have been using AI-based tools that helps my research over 15 years without
Yeah.
even knowing, like unknowingly we are using a lot of tools.
Indeed.
So I have one final topic like a hot potential risk or challenges you see if AGI is realized in the coming decades and it is adopted widely.
Mm. Yeah, the widespread adoption of AGI, okay, it's thought of as it could lead to significant job displacements or job losses, let's say, and there would be some societal and economical challenges because as a fallout of it. But moreover, the I would say the most important thing is to consider the ethical considerations, like who is responsible if an AGI makes a mistake. And there are also concerns about privacy, security, and potential misuse of AGI. But and the development and of course, who owns these things and who operates. But this is up to the government and the legislative bodies to to wake up and also create robust policies and thoughts in this. And I think this is the place where people from all walks of life should come in, and then have their say and come up with a robust policy in this regard.
Yes, so that's great. Those are very important considerations that need to be addressed as AGI continues to evolve. Thank you, Karthik, for sharing your expertise and insight on the impact of AGI on the future job market, the necessary skills that need to be adopted as we move on. It has been a pleasure having you on the Expert Insight podcast. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, Namba. It was my privilege to be part of this video podcast, and I hope hopefully my pointers would be useful to the wider audience in some way.